Greetings and welcome to the Saco City Council meeting for Monday, November 27, 2023. Call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Let the record reflect that all council members are present. And with that, we would like to invite you all to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Under general this evening, we have two items. And the first item is item A, recognition of Councilor Nathan Johnston for 10 years of service. The City of Saco would like to recognize and congratulate Councilor Nathan Johnston for 10 years of service as the City Councilor for Ward 7. Councilor Johnston was elected to the City of Saco to represent Ward 7 in November of 2023 and has been re-elected by his ward during each election over the last decade. A lifelong Saco resident who graduated from Thornton Academy, Councilor Johnston comes from a family of public servants whose mother and father have served in various roles in municipal leadership from school board to mayor. While accompanying his parents to City Hall for meetings when he was a child, Councilor Johnston was involved in city happenings long before being elected. And he reminds us often. He is known for bringing the vast institutional knowledge he's learned over the years to the dais, acting as a steadfast representative for his constituents. Beyond his city service, Councilor Johnston is a talented carpenter, a father of two children who attend Saco schools, and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Councilor Johnston is often involved in communities' Memorial and Veterans Day events, and community festival is genuinely dedicated to the community he serves. I would like to extend my congratulations and gratitude to Councilor Johnston for his past 10 years of service and continuing dedication to the citizens of Saco. Thank you very much. If you'd come up front, we have a little gift for you. The hint with this gift is just remember, time is a commodity that you cannot waste. It's the only one that we don't get back. Ten years is a long time. At the end of this term, you'll have 13. It's important to remember from time to time that the folks up here, although elected and receive a small stipend, they really are public servants, and they really do a lot of volunteer time in the community. So please remember that as we're all volunteers. And again, thank you very much for your service, Councilor Johnston, and wish you good luck in the next 3 years. Next item up on the agenda is the proclamation for Small Business Saturday, although it already occurred this past weekend. 2023 Office of the Mayor, whereas the government of Saco, Maine celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 33 1.2 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 62.7% of the net new jobs created since 1995. And small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the United States stays in the local community, and every dollar spent at a small business creates an additional 48 cents in local businesses' activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing local goods and services. And whereas 72% of consumers reported that Small Business Saturday 2022 made them want to shop and dine at small, independently owned retailers and restaurants all year long. And whereas Saco supports our local businesses and creates jobs, supports local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our community. And whereas advocacy groups as well as the public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday, now therefore I, William Doyle, Mayor of Saco, Maine, do hereby proclaim that November 25th, 2023 be Small Business Saturday. And we urge the residents, as they did this past weekend, to come out and enjoy the businesses of our community and small communities all across the country and support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday, but also throughout the entire year because they really are the heart of a community. So please remember your small businesses. That concludes the general this evening and brings us to committee correspondence to council. Any committee correspondence this evening? Councilor McPhail.
Thank you. Just would like to remind everybody that last Friday was the official kickoff day for the museum's Festival of Trees. We are running through the end of December for the entire month. We have raffles. You can purchase raffle tickets. It is the museum and the library's largest fundraiser that we have through the year. And again, another collection of absolutely beautiful, outstanding trees. It runs during the regular museum hours, which you do have a late day on Friday, and Saturdays till 4 as well. So please take the family, stop by, and enjoy just the lights and the colors and everything that the holiday has to offer.
Thank you very much. Are there any other committee correspondence? Moving on to item 6 of the agenda, and that is public comment. If there's any members of the public who would like to address the City Council, please come forward and be heard.
Kevin Roach, 18 Vines Road. I'm here as president of Save Our Shores Saco Bay. I won't keep you too long here. For the vote tonight on the Army Corps partnership agreement with the city. First, thank you all. I know the vote hasn't happened yet, but thank you all for getting us to this historic moment in the city of Saco. First thanks is to city staff, shoreline, coastal commissions, and the collective council, and for all of you working together where divisiveness often gets celebrated in society in general. Congrats to Nathan, or condolences on for his 10 years and being a trusted sounding board to me when I was on council and issues afterwards. To all the newer councilors since I left, Marshall, Jim, Joe, Phil, good job, Jody. We appreciate you taking the shoreline as seriously as our Ward 4 councilor. Jim, I hope we didn't wear you out for your retirement, but Mike, big thanks for taking up the cause for the ward. Big thanks. Your constituents can't thank you enough. Jody, your advocacy on this and other issues led to citywide trust in your new role as mayor. You do have shoes to fill, as we especially, that's what I want to thank Mayor Doyle on everything shoreline. in his 4 years. He acted on what he campaigned on 4 years ago to get something done with the Army Corps. He never wavered, was there when needed, even when I didn't see him behind a pole to credit his work at a Ferry Beach conference. Do you remember that? Okay. Still think about that. And when there was little chance to procure a dredge with the county, Mayor Doyle fought upstream with us to win over the commissioners. SOS Saco Bay thanks Mayor Doyle for his 4 years of service for our cause, and we hope one day one of those jetty rocks or wad pyramids has his name dedicated on it. All the best with today's vote. Thanks.
Thank you. If there's any other member of the public that would like to address the city council, please come forward and be heard. With nobody seeking recognition, moving on to item 7 of the agenda, and that is approval of the minutes for November 6, 2023 and November 13, 2023. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Councilor Hatch, is there a second?
Second.
Councilor Berman, any discussion on approving the minutes from the 6th and the 13th? Councilor Berman?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On November 13th, it correctly notes that I was absent from the council meeting, but in item 13 from the exit from executive session, it lists me as present for the leaving of executive session. I was also absent for the executive session.
Thank you. It would make sense that if you were absent for the meeting, you were also absent for the executive session, but we will note that and take that into consideration and make a notation for the minutes. Any further discussion on the minutes? Roll call on the minutes. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to approve the minutes. Brings us to items 8, consent agenda items. Item A is a certification of election results for November 7, 2023, which were the elections, on page 2 in your packet. Item B is an application for a license to operate Beano Bingo, Biddeford Saco Lodge of Elks, 1597 on page 7. Item C is an application for a license to operate Games of Chance, Biddeford Saco Lodge of Elks, 1597 on page 12. Item D is a Conservation Commission appointment for Kathleen Jajo. Item E is a Saco River Corridor Commission appointment of Don Pylon. And item F is Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee appointment for Jamie Marcotte, and that's on page 17, 19, and 20. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
So moved.
Councilor Berman, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hatch. Councilor Johnston?
I request that we pull item A.
Item A will become item A under action items, so now the consent agenda items we're voting on are B through E. Any objection? B through F, I'm sorry. Any objections? Any discussion? Roll call. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Brings us to action items, item 9, or agenda item 9, and that is item A, certification of election results for the November 7, 2023 elections on page 2 in your packet, assigned to Councilor McPhail.
Thank you, Mayor Doyle. On November 7th, 2023, a state general election and municipal general and referendum election was held. The election results are being submitted to council for certification as required by Section 7.03B of the Charter for the City of Saco. Be it ordered that the City Council hereby approve the results of the November 7th, 2023 state general election and municipal general elections as presented. I move to approve the order.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilor McPhail, second by Councilor Johnston. Any discussion? Roll call. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Counselor Purdy?
Yes.
Counselor Gunn?
Yes.
Counselor Berman?
Yes.
Counselor Hatch?
Yes.
Counselor McPhail?
Yes.
Counselor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Counselor McPhail?
Thank you. I move the council request the city clerk to publish notice to the residents of Ward 6 that a vacancy in the office of councilor exists, and that any member of the public qualified to hold office and who holds an interest shall have 21 days in which to submit a letter of interest for consideration.
Motion's been made by Counselor McPhail. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Berman. Any discussion? Roll call. Counselor Archer? Counselor Purdy?
Yes.
Counselor Gunn?
Yes.
Counselor Berman?
Yes.
Counselor Hatch?
Yes.
Counselor McPhail?
Yes.
Counselor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. So as a reminder, that means that when Mayor-elect McPhail moves into this position, there will be an opening in Ward 6. And that was the official posting of that notice. So please tell all your friends in Ward 6 that there will be an opening for city councilor for the remainder of Councilor McPhail's term. That brings us to what was item A, now item B.
Mayor Doyle, there's one more.
My apologies, Councilor McPhail.
I move the council set a public hearing date on December 18th, 2023, to consider all parties expressing interest in filing the Ward 6 vacancy as required by Charter Section 2.06.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded by Councilor McPhail, Councilor Johnston. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. That brings us to item B, which was item A, and that is the second and final reading, Saco River and Camp Ellis Beach, Saco, Maine, Section 111, Shore Damage Mitigation Project, Partnership Agreement, or PPA, and that is on page 22 in the packet and assigned to Councilor Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The jetties at the mouth of the Saco River were constructed between 1828 and 1968 as part of a federal navigation project. This project resulted in severe coastal erosion north of the jetty. The United States Army Corps of Engineers has been evaluating shoreline erosion mitigation measures since the early 2000s for Saco Bay and the Camp Ellis shoreline under Section 111 project authorization. For a Section 111 project to move into design and construction, a non-federal sponsor is required to enter into a project partnership agreement, or PPA, with the Army Corps. The city has received a draft PPA that will need to be executed prior to any design or construction of the United States Army Corps of Engineers selected erosion mitigation work commencing on this project. Be it ordered that the City Council authorize the city administrator to enter into the Section 111 project partnership agreement. I move to approve the order.
Motion's been made by Councilor Berman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnston. Any discussion? Councilor Hatch?
Thank you, Mayor Doyle. As at the November 6th council meeting, I publicly asked City Administrator Wahenko to address a small handful of questions I had related to the PPA before my vote tonight. On November 8th, I followed up with a written email to City Administrator Wahenko indicating those specific questions. I just want the public to know that my verbal communications with City Administrator Wahenko, combined with Public Works Director Fox's memo contained in tonight's council packet, have adequately addressed those questions for me. So as such, I will be voting in favor of tonight's proposed motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Berman?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it's really important to note that this isn't the last time, I'm sure, that City Council will be working on issues related to coastal erosion. But it's a really important next step, and it's been a long time coming. Right? We've had decades and decades of inaction and stalling and back and forth with the Army Corps, and to be here tonight is an incredible step forward in protecting our shoreline, revitalizing the coast, protecting Camp Ellis and really moving Saco forward in the direction we want to go. So I really want to acknowledge all the hard work of Mayor Doyle in getting this done during his term, right? The Shoreline Commission and their tireless advocacy, SOS Saco Bay, and their deep knowledge and in working with the federal delegation and the Army Corps and keeping everyone on task, and this council for bringing us really to what's a historic next step in protecting our shoreline and keeping Saco safe. So thank you all.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Johnston.
Thank you. As I stated several weeks ago when we first discussed this, there are certainly elements of this PPA that continue to give me pause. We have legal questions that remain, potential liability, financial, both long-term and short-term questions that remain. But as others have said, I certainly can't ignore how far we have come, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years, nor the fact that there's $45 million now available to us from the federal government that really settles a large question I had 5 years ago. As Councilor Berman said, there's 50-plus years, probably longer, of individuals involved, citizens, public officials, too many, certainly, to name them all, but they all played some role in where we are today. And it's that effort that has got the Army Corps to this point. Again, for me, having read this document many times over, as again, Councilor Berman pointed out, this is not the end-all, be-all. There's a certain clause in here that I read that basically says once we get to final design, there's still an out if we decide it's necessary. Again, for me, moving forward, it'd kind of be foolish not to continue this with all the efforts we've done. So I will also be supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Gunn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to make a point that, and the point has been made that there are a lot of, the old saying that victory has 1,000 mothers and fathers, and this is a case where this community over the last 30 years, and fits and starts, has really gotten to the point where we're going to do something concrete that's going to preserve one of the, if not the oldest neighborhood in the city for centuries to come. Now, this is a first step, and it's a vital first step. I kind of liken it to sort of you get your COVID shot, and that gives you the base protection, but then you got to protect yourself by taking precautions. And the living shoreline solution will be the next step, and thankfully one that's going to be a little bit more close to home, where it's a debate between us and third parties and what we can do to preserve our shoreline. And in that regards, I definitely want to give thanks and kudos to SOS for, first of all, helping marshal a public opinion down in Camp Ellis and throughout the city that this is the best of the solutions that we have presented to us, and for your continued advocacy in terms of living shorelines that will make the Camp Ellis and Bayview and that area of the shoreline a viable beach for our residents to use in the future, not to mention preserving the neighborhood. And I also want to give a special thanks to Mayor Doyle, because for many years there has been many differences of opinion on this council as it relates to what we should do down there vis-a-vis the Army Corps. And I, among many councilors, though, were approached by the mayor and told the pros and cons and given, as you like to say, the 30,000-foot view. And I was skeptical for many years about this, though, but looking at the plan, seeing what it can do, part and parcel with the living shorelines that we're going to get to do in the next coming decades, and it is the best solution that we have available to us. And thanks to some changes in federal law, we're going to get more money, which is always a good thing from the federal government. And it's going to allow us, as I said, to preserve a part of the city. And as I said, a lot of people had a lot to do with this, though, but as a sort of a capstone to your term as mayor and your 8 years of service to the city, Mr. Mayor, I'm proud to be here with you as you do this because, as I said, whether it's a pile of rocks or it's a rockway that has your name on it at some point in the future, I think, this is you've earned this success by your diligence and your use of the bully pulpit to convince us all that this is the best course of action, and I give you my thanks for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not going to start thanking anybody yet because the vote hasn't occurred. And as a former mayor who's sitting in the audience who gave me some fair advice before I ran, count to 4. So I'm going to make sure that we have 4 votes before I thank anybody. But I will thank former Mayor Mark Johnston for those words of advice. And then, we'll see how the vote goes out, but then I have a couple of words. But, the real credit goes to not me or really not even the council. The real credit goes to the staff that worked hard on this. And then also the folks that have had to live with the torture of down there, the houses falling into the water and, beach erosion just naturally taking your front lines. So thank you to you all for putting up with it for as long as you did. And hopefully we'll be able to start. And again, it's important to remember this is the starting. This is not the ending. We've got more work to do after this. So keep vigilant in your coming to the city council and trying to get them to look at other alternatives in the future. But let's see how the vote goes before we start thanking everybody. Any further discussion? With no further discussion, a roll call vote. Councilor Archer.
Aye.
Councilor Purdy.
Yes.
Councilor Gunn.
Yes.
Councilor Berman.
Yes.
Councilor Hatch.
Yes.
Councilor McPhail.
Yes.
And Councilor Johnston.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. So now we can thank everybody that had a hand in it. And again, we wouldn't be able to do the work we did without the staff members that we have. So thank you to all the staff members in the city of Saco. You are truly great at what you do, and we couldn't be happier with all of you. And thank you. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't also thank somebody who's not in the room, but Brian Cainrath for his service, because he was also a good force as the former city administrator, really trying to get this done and helping to take the vision of transforming Camp Ellis into a vital economic engine. He took that vision that I campaigned on and ran with it, and we did some good things down there. But again, this is just the beginning, not the end. There's still more work to do. So thank you, council. Thank you, staff members. Thank you, members of the public. Thank you, SOS, for your advocacy group. And thank you most of all to the residents that have had to endure through the years. So with that, we're going to move on to what was item B is now item C on page 38 in your packet, and not as highly contested item on the agenda, but that is a public hearing renewal application for a special entertainment permit for Townhouse Pub, and that is assigned to Councilor Johnston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Townhouse Management, Inc., doing business as Townhouse Pub, has applied for renewal of their special entertainment permit. The permit would be concurrent with the establishment's liquor license. The applicant has paid all applicable permit fees, and the clerk has properly advertised the public hearing in accordance with the Saco City Code, Chapter 93, Entertainment, Section 93-2. I move to open the public hearing.
Motion's been made by Councilor Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilor Hatch, any discussion on opening the public hearing? Roll call to open the public hearing. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to open the public hearing at 7 p.m. Any member of the public wishing to address the city council on this item only related to the public hearing for the renewal application, please come forward and be heard. Not as hotly contested. With that, Councilor Johnston.
I move to close the public hearing. Be it ordered that the city council grants the renewal application submitted to Townhouse or by Townhouse Management, Inc., doing business as Townhouse Pub for a special entertainment permit to be concurrent with the establishment's current liquor license. I move to approve the order.
Motion's been made by Councilor Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilor McPhail. Any discussion on closing the public hearing and issuing order? No discussion. Roll call vote. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 at 7:01 p.m. That concludes the action items and brings us to agenda item 10 is new business. On page 40 in your packet is item A, a petition for city acceptance of new public street per chapter 186 Jada Drive in the Forest Fields subdivision, excuse me. In your packet is item commentary on this. At this time, I'll ask the city planner, Emily Cole Prescott, to come forward in case there are any questions. Emily, thank you. Do you have anything further than what was in the item commentary that you'd like to present?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Gunn, this is presented to you, or assigned to you. Would you like to be the council liaison?
Of course.
Thank you. Any discussion? With no discussion, thank you very much. Sorry to bring you up.
Thank you.
So that acceptance for the new public street will be coming in a later council meeting. With that, that brings us to item 11, the administrative update. City Administrator Bohanko.
Thank you, Your Honor. First item is regarding the tree lighting ceremony. We will gather on the lawn in front of the Saco Transportation Center on Friday, December 1st, 2023, for the annual tree lighting. Come at 5:30 and enjoy live music and hot cocoa while countdown to the tree lighting for 6 p.m. Carolers from the Saco Middle School will be adding to the festivities. And then there's the Holiday Festival and Parade of Lights. Please join us for the Holiday Festival and Parade of Lights on Saturday, December 9th, beginning at 1 p.m. This year, there will be a trolley running down Main Street with stops along the way to see a live nativity, shopping, food, and other activities. This year's parade is bigger and better than ever, and we anticipate 80 entries. The parade is scheduled to begin at 6 p.m. For all the list of activities, you can go to sacomainstreet.wixsite.com Holiday Festival. Ward 6 vacancy, as the mayor mentioned earlier, with the election of Ward 6 Councilor Jody McPhail as Saco's next mayor, we anticipate a vacancy in Ward 6 council seat when newly elected officials will be sworn in their December 4th inauguration. Following the charter prescribed process, the Saco City Council will accept letters of interest from Ward 6 residents who wish to serve on the City Council for the remainder of Councilor McPhail's term expiring December 2nd, 2024. Letters of interest will be accepted from November 28th until 4 p.m. on December 19th. Interested candidates must submit their letter of interest to Michelle Hughes, City Clerk, at mhughes@sacomain.org or the City Clerk's office at Saco City Hall, 300 Main Street by 4 p.m. on December 19th, 2023. The submissions from interested candidates will be reviewed and discussed publicly during the City Council meeting on January 8th, and as well as, I believe, the public hearing that will be taking place. We will release the names of candidates who have submitted letters of interest in our news center, located at www.sacomain.org/news, weekly on Fridays until this process is complete. We will also announce the list of candidates in future administrative updates during council meetings. Excuse me. The upcoming other items are swearing in of elected officials on December 4th, election of deputy mayor, confirmation of council liaisons and appointments to committees, joint meeting with school board, ethics and FOAA training. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Any questions for City Administrator Bohenko? Seeing no questions, moving on to item 12, council discussion and comment. Any council discussion and comment this evening? Councilor Hatch.
Thank you, Mayor Doyle. Last Monday evening, from 4 to 7 p.m., the St. Demetrius Greek Church community, with assistance from a core group of Save Saco Neighborhoods members, delivered a free will offering spaghetti dinner at their church hall off Bradley Street. 100% of the funds raised will be given to the family of Lee Zan-Wu, affectionately referred to as Ms. Lee. Ms. Lee was the victim of a recent fatal automobile pedestrian accident occurring at the corner of Spring and Bradley Streets. My wife and I joined Mayor-elect McPhail and her husband with over 180 other community members to support this fundraising event. Biddeford City Councilor Liam LaFountain also took time to attend, for which we appreciate. It was heartwarming to see the emotional and financial support given to Miss Lee's family that evening. A tragic event like this one, experienced by the Wu family, should serve as a reminder that we all need to continue working together to help make our community safe. I would ask that all who walk, bike, or drive our city streets be part of the public safety solution and not part of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further council discussion and comment? Councilor Gunn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to thank both you and you, Councilor Purdy, for your years of service to the city. I believe when it comes to Councilor Purdy, he takes a less is more approach when it comes to speaking from the dais, and the old adage that you learn more from listening than you do talking, I think you subscribe to that, and I think sometimes we could all do a little better if we follow Councilor Purdy's example. He diligent and conscientious in his performance of his duties, and he's never brought any agenda to this council. He has probably had the most open mind of any councilor that I know of that has served up here in my lifetime, and the city has been better for it. Can often be a thankless position, and Councilor Purdy approached this job with the dedication that it deserves, and the city is all better for your service. And to you, Mr. Mayor, I was going to say you using the bully pulpit and using your knowledge of the city, you took a lot of tough positions on things that needed to be taken. Sometimes you got criticized. Some of it was, a little fair. Some of it was a little below the belt. But that's okay. That's why you get paid the big bucks. But in taking those positions, you spoke for the city and always had the city's best interests at heart. And I think going forward, the city will look back and realize how fortunate they were to have you in the seat. When it came to marshaling votes, working with city administrators, and promoting perhaps a new city administrator, and filling the boards and the committees and the commissions with dedicated members of our community that all collectively want to serve, promoting staff in the sense of their ability to perform on behalf of the city, which we're all thankful for. The city has a unsung staff that we can't thank it more than enough, though. These people are great. And for your service up here, I want to thank you again, because it's a tough job, and And I look forward to, I'm glad that you get the chance to, finally get some rest. And I know from the Sweetser auction about a year ago, there's a trip to a safari in Africa waiting, kind of similar to, I had this thought today, similar to when President Theodore Roosevelt retired from the White House. He went to Africa for a year. Only, unlike President Roosevelt, he's not going to be shooting big game. He's going to just be taking nice pictures and enjoying himself, though, which is good, though, because that's my style of vacation as well. So well-earned rest, and I've known both you and Councilor Purdy for about 30 years, and it's been a privilege to serve both next to you, and you guys are wonderful, and I know you're not going anywhere, but I'm going to miss you when you're up here with me. So thank you.
Thank you very much for those kind words. And then, just so everyone's clear, and there's no graft or gratuity, because I'm obviously always getting accused of, backdoor deals and what have you. I purchased the safari adventure at the Sweetser auction.
I will vouch for
I
that.
purchased it with my hard-earned money, and it cost me more than 1 year of the mayor's salary. So, again, just to make sure that, but no, thank you very much for those kind words, Joe. With that, any further council discussion and comment? And just a reminder that the switchover between the newly elected councilors that are incoming will be December 4th. So all of us still have to show up for December 4th for the switchover. So with that, any further council discussion and comment? No further council discussion and comment. Brings us to item 13. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Councilor Hatch, is there a second?
Second.
Councilor Berman, any discussion? Roll call to adjourn. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to adjourn at 7:12. Have a great evening, everyone.